All right, let's talk about the incredible living framework that's holding you up right now, your skeleton. And trust me, it's so much more than just a bunch of bones. It's a dynamic, powerful machine that supports, protects, and fuels your every single move. So let's just jump right in with a pretty wild fact. You were actually born with way more bones than you have at this very moment. I know, it sounds impossible, right? Like, where did they go? Well, it's not magic. It's all part of the incredible process of growing up. See, when you're a baby, you're working with somewhere around 270 individual pieces. And a lot of them aren't even what you'd call hard bone yet. They're mostly soft, flexible cartilage, which, is a pretty clever design for making birth easier and allowing for all that rapid growth in your first few years. But as you grow, something amazing happens. That cartilage starts to harden up, and many of those smaller bones actually fuse together. They literally join forces to create the larger, stronger bones we have as adults, which brings us to that final count of 206. Okay, so we've got the number of bones down, but what's the point of it all? I mean, besides just keeping you from being a blob on the floor? Well, it turns out your skeleton has a ton of jobs. It's one of the busiest, most talented systems in your whole body. Yeah, thinking of your skeleton as just scaffolding is a huge understatement. It's more like your body's own personal Swiss Army knife. It's your bodyguard. Your skull is a helmet for your brain, and your ribcage protects your heart. It's a mineral bank, storing crucial stuff like calcium. And maybe the most mind-blowing job of all, it's a factory. Deep inside your bones, you are constantly manufacturing every single red and white blood cell you need to live. Incredible. So how is this whole machine organized? It's not just a jumble of 206 bones. There's a really smart system at play. We can basically split the whole thing into two main teams, and each team has a completely different job to do. First, you've got the axial skeleton. Think of this as your body's core, its central pillar. We're talking about the skull, the spine, and the ribs. Its main job is all about protection and stability. Then you have the appendicular skeleton. This is basically everything else. Your arms, legs, shoulders, and hips. All 126 of these bones are designed for movement and for interacting with the world. One is the fortress, the other is the army. And what's really cool is that each bone shape is perfectly designed for its specific job. You have long bones, like the femur in your thigh, which is the strongest bone in the body, acting as a powerful lever. You've got short, cube-like bones in your wrist for all those delicate movements. And then, get this, you have the tiniest bone in your whole body, the stapes in your ear. It's only about 3 millimeters long. Tiny, but absolutely essential. Okay, so we've got all these different bones. But bones can't move by themselves, right? That's where joints come in. And the secret ingredient for almost all of our movement is something called a synovial joint. These things are just marvels of natural engineering, designed for smooth, flexible motion. Let's start with a simple one, the hinge joint. The name pretty much says it all. It works just like a hinge on a door, allowing you to bend and straighten in one direction. Think of your elbows and knees, classic, powerful hinge joints. But what if you want to move in, well, all the directions? For that, you need the amazing ball and socket joint. This is where the rounded end of one bone fits into a cup-like socket on another, giving you that incredible full range of motion in your shoulders and hips. It's what lets you throw a ball or swing your arm all the way around. And finally, we have the clever pivot joint. This one allows for rotation, for one bone to twist around another. The most famous example is right in your neck. That simple act of shaking your head no? Yep, that's a pivot joint hard at work. All right, now we get to what I think is the most mind-blowing part of this whole story. It's time to completely rethink what a skeleton is. I want you to forget those static plastic models you see in a science classroom, because the truth is, your skeleton is alive. No, seriously, let's just ditch that image of a dry, dusty Halloween skeleton forever. Every single bone in your body is a complex, living organ, filled with blood vessels, nerves, and all sorts of living tissue. Let's take a look inside. Deep inside the bone, you find marrow doing two completely different but vital jobs. The red marrow is that blood factory we talked about, constantly churning out brand new blood cells. At the same time, the yellow marrow acts as an energy reserve, storing fat that your body can tap into when it needs fuel. So it's a factory and a power bank, all in one package. And this whole system never stops working. Not for a second. Throughout your entire life, your skeleton is in a constant state of change. It doesn't just grow when you're young. It's actively remodeling itself, breaking down old, worn-out bone and replacing it with new, strong tissue. And of course, it has that incredible ability to repair itself after a fracture, knitting itself back together. This one fact just completely changes how you should see your own body. Your internal framework isn't some passive scaffold just hanging out. It is an active, living participant in your health, responding to everything you do and constantly maintaining itself. So here's the final takeaway. That living machine inside you is at work right now, giving you the power to move, to live, and to thrive. It's a system of support, protection, and production that is literally rebuilding itself as we speak. The only question left is, what amazing things are you going to do with it?